What is up, guys? Hey, little one. So, the aftermath of the Rit Dye Camel. Yesterday, I left thinking, oh my god, I may have screwed up everything, with the camel because there was like some slight tinges of dark red and stuff like that that I really didn't want. And overall, um, as the the fabric was wet, it looked something like coyote brown to a lighter tan, where the white would have been, and the darker grays um, just looked even more like a darker gray, which isn't really what I wanted. But today, guys, I came out and it's finally drying out in the sun. Now I don't know if you can tell with the sunlight, but oh my god, this looks so good. Actually, everything has the slight tinge of green that I was hoping to achieve, and the white parts are now somewhere between a dark tan and a coyote brown, which is beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted. And yeah, the gray parts are like a nice mossy green. So this whole pack turned out really, really well. Better than I expected even. The only really weird thing, like, look at this, guys. I was hoping for the webbing to turn green, and this is a nice ranger, like a dark ranger green. Not fully OD, but, more like a darker ranger green. Some more webbing here is slightly more like, this is more OD, whereas this is more of a dark ranger green. But then on one pouch, as you can see, the webbing turned brown. Now this pouch I initially dyed with apple green, and the light parts turned to a bright yellow, which isn't what I wanted, but the webbing turned, a nice green color. So I dipped this again in the camel mixture. There was only about 3/4 of a bottle, maybe 2/3, 3/4 of a bottle of apple green, and then camel, 3 bottles of camel in for this entire project, for this mixture. And so the the white and the grays are now pretty much matching in color, in shade of tans, and then the mossy green. The only thing that differs is the color of the webbing, which I'm gonna try maybe eventually to dip this quickly in apple green just to get the webbing, turn it to maybe like an olive drab. um, do it the other way around, I guess. This one had a first dab in apple green, and then it stayed like that. And this I'm hoping to then turn into apple green. But other than that, all the rest of the webbing, as I was hoping, like, look at this extra webbing here, turned to a beautiful olive drab. And I don't know why that is, using camel, but it works. It works, guys. And beautiful. It's just beautiful, because that's what I wanted. I really wanted all that grayness to turn to a mossy green, and that's exactly what I achieved here, surprisingly. The Blackhawk pouch, which was used, the IFAC, yesterday showed some like tinges of red here, and it looked really weird. Even on camera, it almost looks still red. I don't know for whatever reason, but I can guarantee you that it's not. Why does it look red on camera? What the hell? Well, when I film this indoors, you might be able to tell better. But basically, it's gotten the nice shade of tans on the whites, and still the grays turned to like a mossy green, which is beautiful. It turned out really well, guys. I'm surprisingly pleased with this project. And yeah, the snow color as well. It used to be this nasty gray, or I mean, just regular gray, and now it's a beautiful, again, like nice olive drab. almost like a dark ranger green, something between a dark ranger green and an olive drab. Just looks beautiful. And yeah, guys, wow, I'm surprisingly pleased with the end result here. Very, very pleased. And also, like, all that extra creasing, so to speak, faded away pretty much. There's maybe like tad little splotches of extra, more concentrated dye, but I can probably wash those off. And either way, it looks uniform, and it doesn't look, like one side took the dye more than the other. I really had to, soak these for until basically the water turned lukewarm. um, as opposed to like when I tried with the Rit dye apple green. um, it only needed maybe like a 15-minute bath. I didn't want to overdo it because then it would just turn too bright of a green, and it would lose the contrast. Whereas with camel, I really wanted to with camel, I had to do the opposite. I had to really soak it in there for as long as possible. And every time I took it out, it always felt like it was a little too bright, a little too light, um, even while wet. So I figured, just keep, absorbing more dye and just keep it in there, keep stirring it, keep, just swirling around, whatever. Just because some parts, would get more dye than the other, then you take it out, have to put it back in, and just mix it up again, because there's just so much gear in there. And yeah, guys, I'm surprisingly pleased with the end result. Really, really pleased, actually. I couldn't be happier. The only thing that I'm annoyed is that, and that I have no idea why this is. I mean, this all turned green, 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 and then one brown. That's the thing about camel. It's just a little risky. It's a little, it never yields consistent results. Let's put it like that. But I'm surprised that at least for all this used to be, I did this in camel years ago, but it turned out to be just a light yellow here. So I dipped it again and gave it a nice, plus a nice, long bath. And then because this is also thicker cordura, it requires more time to really absorb the dye. But wow, guys, I am surprisingly pleased with the end results. Now my only dilemma is to choose whether I want to go with a tan frame or the foliage green, which is actually a gray. um, or is it foliage gray? Foliage, basically. the the other, the standard frame, you know, the same color of these buckles and what have you. But wow, guys, what can I say? I had to document this. I had to document the aftermath because that's the thing. Yesterday, I kind of left thinking, oh my God, I screwed everything up. Camel wasn't the best of ideas, because it all just looked a bit too dark, on the grays at least. And then, it looked really uneven. The white parts had turned some to a yellow, to a dark yellow, some others all the way to a dark coyote tan, coyote brown, pardon me. So I couldn't really, I was like, wow, I'm getting really mixed results here. But now, after a day of letting this dry, I dried this overnight, and it's pretty much almost dry now. I'm just, letting it dry a little bit more. But man, this looks good, guys. This looks actually like the best results I've gotten so far. Um, at least, just trying. And oh, I forgot to mention, I had a whole bottle of white wine vinegar when I did this, but halfway through, uh, I added yet another, almost a full bottle, like 2/3 of another bottle of white wine vinegar, just because I figured there's so much material, and it really needs, I guess, the vinegar to take the dye. Plus, I added that extra like 2/3 or 3/4 of a bottle of apple green as well. So I'm assuming that that also had something to do with the end result. But what can I say, guys? Yeah, just documenting the aftermath. The end result of this dye job, and I'm really happy with it. So I'm hoping that someone else out there finds my videos helpful, in case you have a project like this that you're thinking of doing. And all I can say, guys, is thank you for your attention as always, and I will see you once this is all fully assembled and pimped out with pouches. So if you want to see how that looks, stay tuned, and see you later.